Hello. Hello, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. And welcome to Tea with Fee. It's Friday. I've been missing for a couple of weeks, but I'm back now. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that from there. No. Right. Let's rearrange. Hang on. That might be better. Is that better? Okay. This is what's going on. This. Let me tell you what's happened. And then we'll come back to that. Okay. So, I've been trying to get more organised. Now, I normally organise, but I'm trying to get a better system in place for my projects for myself. So, my things that I want to make for me. So, this has led me to this, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But basically, what's happened is I was organising my fabric. So my system at the minute is my new system that I am starting just for the things that I'm going to make for myself. So I've got it in my head for the next couple of months. I want to sort of work on my made by me wardrobe. So I need to know what fabric I've got and what I was going to use it for, because if you're like me, the chances are you buy the fabric with every intention of making the thing, then you go off on a little tangent, you're a bit magpie-ish, you see another pretty fabric, and before you know it, you've now got 6 different fabrics and you can't remember what you were going to do with them. So, cue new system. So, this is literally been hanging over the back of my chair for, I'd say, 4 weeks. I'm quite good when I come in from having bought fabric to wash it straight away. So on the whole, my fabric is normally washed, but not always. So the fabrics that I buy in for the boxes, I don't wash them because then they wouldn't look as pretty when they get sent out. But if I'm making it for myself, I am quite good at remembering to wash it as soon as I get it, because then you don't need to worry about if it's been washed or if it's not. And when you're making clothes, you really want any shrinkage to happen before you've started making the item. You don't want to make the item, wash it, and then it shrinks, because then you're more than likely not going to be able to wear it. So anyway, so this is my new plan. This is the new plan. I've done one. But you know, hi Lane! Hi Ashley! Not sure who else is there, but hi anyway. Right, so the new system is this. I have rolled up this piece of fabric. I have tied it so that it doesn't unravel. I've stuck a tab on the front. Now, I would just say at this point, I had these things in the house. I have not gone and bought them. I had them, okay? And if need be, I would have used a post-it note and a safety pin. So I wasn't going all like, oh, it's an excuse to go buy more stuff. So I'm trying to not do that. Anyway, so I've written on this, it's 1 metre, 60 wide, because that's useful to know. It's 1 metre of fabric. I've washed it and I intend to make with it a pair of shorts, which I will talk to you about in a minute. So this is the pattern I plan to make for this. Now, because I plan to make several pairs of these, I can't really keep the pattern with the fabric, which is another method that I've used in the past. But the thing is, I want to make them with this. When I bought this, hang on, I also bought this, although this is another metre, but that's another story as well. So I've already made a pair of the green style tailor shorts in this really nice, it's called gabardine fabric, not Aberdeen, but gabardine. And it's really nice. It's like a cotton, but it's got a really nice like weave to it. And it's got a nice drape and a nice sheen. So I made a pair out of this. I don't know if I've told you this already. I'll maybe get a picture of me wearing them. And they've turned out really nice. But what was my schoolgirl error? What did I do or not do that I probably would, if I was advising somebody else what to do, would not have been taking my own advice? I didn't make a practice pair. I've never made the pattern before, and I just went for it. So as a result, I now own a pair of shorts in this lovely fabric. Now, this I got from Ramsey Craft Centre. £10 a metre. I mean, it's a bargain, and it feels lovely, and it's perfect for the shorts. But they're just a bit neat. So basically what happened was, and if I've told you this already, I'm really sorry, but I'm telling you again because it's useful to know. Right, so if I just show you this picture, can you see how they kind of bunch up a bit here? So mine were doing that before I had attached the waistband. Mine were doing that where the pocket wasn't lying flat against my body. So I just lifted it up into the waistband and then stitched the waistband on, and now they sit really flat and it looks really good. However, what happened was, to do that, to make that bit right, I had to basically lose an inch of the zip. And what happened when I lost an inch of the zip is the ability to actually open the shorts to get them on has been significantly reduced because I've got an inch less of zip, which means getting them over your bottom and your hips is actually quite tricky. I can get them on and I can get them fastened, but I don't think they would be particularly comfortable if I was wearing them for a long time. But I love how they have been finished, and I really loved the fabric. But there just wasn't enough give. There was too much altering needed for me to be able to unpick them and then remake them. So I happened to be in Ramsey today at Ramsey Craft Centre, and I picked myself up another metre of this lovely fabric, which was, as I say, £10 a metre, and because of my Make It Soap membership discount, I got my 10% off. So I got it for £9. So this still needs to go in the wash. So that will be going in the washing machine today so that I can get cracking with them. But what I am going to do first is make a practice pair. So ideally, you want the practice pair to be the same fabric. So there is, what I might do is unpick the pair that I have already made, but it's not going to have enough, because I know that I've cut bits off and I now actually need that fabric again. They're probably not going to work. So I haven't made them yet. I have cut out from the lining of a pair of curtains my toile. Okay, so I'm taking my own advice. I have cut these out. I am going to sew them together, and then I'm going to make the alterations on those to get them to fit how I want them to fit before I then do it on the fabric. So watch this space to find out how that progresses. But going back to the current situation on the table, when I bought the two short fabrics, I bought this gorgeous green fabric. So let me just, hang on. I bought this gorgeous green. It's like a polycotton. Polycotton, I can't quite remember. Anyway, my idea for it was I wanted to make this dress in that fabric. So I have washed it, because when I got it home, I washed it at the same time as this. So I was rolling it up, getting my little label ready to say that I had washed it and what I was planning to make with it, which is this. And then I had that moment of, uh-oh. When I actually read the instructions, it says that I actually need, like, where am I? C, D. Nearly 3 meters of fabric, and I've only got 2. So I've got it on the table to try and work out whether I've got enough fabric to make it or not. Because although that's for my size, Sometimes I think they're a little bit generous with how much fabric you need, so I might get away with it. But equally, this has got a pattern on it, so I can't just put a sleeve in any old way to get it to fit on the fabric. So I've got this horrible feeling that this is not going to work. So if I just show you, that's the back. This is the yoke. I've still got the two front bits to put on, the sleeves. I've got a bit hanging over there. The two front bits, the sleeves, the collar, and there's some pockets. So keep your fingers crossed for me that this actually works. Because if not, my backup plan I think I don't have enough fabric for that either. Anyway, it'll be fine because it's always fine. So watch this space till you find out what's going to happen next, but that'll be quite interesting. But anyway, my top tip for Friday is, this is a really good idea. So basically, wash it, roll it up, write on it how much there is, what it is, possibly what you were hoping that you would use it for, because that means if you get sidetracked or you forget, because we're going to forget, because I have got fabric coming out of my ears, so I'm guessing if you're watching this, then you probably have got fabric coming out of your ears as well. So you can forget. So I've just tidied, let me show you. I've had a little sort out of my Make It So fabric. Let me just switch this light off. Right, so I've sorted out these, the pretty fabrics. But what I realised was, whilst I was sorting those fabrics out, look at that, it's all going on. What I realised whilst I was doing that was that this fabric was in amongst that fabric, but I actually need quite a lot of this fabric to finish the quilt that I'm making. So I don't want to accidentally sell some or put it in a box and then realise I was using it for the quilt. And the same thing could quite easily happen with fabrics that you've bought. So you've bought it for a purpose, got sidetracked, and 3 years have passed. I might actually put the date on of when I bought it. That would be quite interesting. So yeah, you forgot what you bought it for, you go and use it for something else impulsively, and then realise 2 months later, where's that fabric that I was going to make X with, and you used it 2 months before on something that actually wasn't as important as the thing that you had originally wanted to make it for. So I think that is a really easy tip. So let me know what you think. Elaine, if you're still watching, I know you have got, like, you could open a shop. I don't think that that's like an unrealistic statement. And Elaine actually gets the boards off me. So once this is done, I keep some of my boards and I give them to Elaine for her to wrap her fabric in. So if you've got quite a lot of meters of fabric, these are brilliant. But if you've only got a meter, you can just roll it up, and like the denim's quite stiff. One of the issues that I've got, if anybody's got any great ideas, they would be greatly received, is, let me show you, I've got a bit of a situation. So this box here is basically about 70 meters of individual fabrics, and you can't see what's in there. So if anybody who happens to be visiting my lovely little shed decided that they wanted to buy some fabric, they're certainly not going to be able to see what's in that box, are they? So how can I display it better? Or do I cut it all up into fat quarters and sell fat quarter bundles? What would you do? What would you do? Or do I just make like the biggest quilt in the world? I don't know. Anyway, so that's next on the head scratching list. But let me show you how I'm getting on with my quilt before I go. I spent nearly all of last Saturday making this quilt. It's not finished. And you know what? I had a lovely day. Social Saturday was on in the morning, which was 9 o'clock till 12:30. James was working and didn't get in till 5 o'clock. And then, a sample board. I like that idea, actually. So I literally had the house to myself. And I was like, ooh, I'm in the mood for just continuing to sew because I'd got like back in the swing of things. So I have got, I'll show you. So this is what I'm aiming to make. Another impulse make. So this is the Buttercup quilt. Super cute. I don't have the chambray blue background, which they used in theirs, which is what the purple's for. And as you can see, there's a lot of it, so I don't really want to run out. But oh, it's a slog. This bit is really boring. So you start off with the square. You sew 1-inch squares to each corner. I can't even remember how many of them were. There was over 1,000 1-inch. There was over 1,000 1-inch purple squares. But anyway, so you sew all them on, snip off the corner. Then you've got to press them open for every single one before you then sew them together to make, dun, dun, dun. I don't have one that I made earlier. However, I do have a big long strip. So if I show you this, and then you sew them together. So once these are opened out like this, you sew 4 of those together, which makes this shape here. And then you add the little border to each side, and then there's going to be a purple strip down this side and a purple strip down this side, and then it will be like the square will be, the flower will be in a square of purple. So you end up with all these strips. But it's looking quite good. I'm pleased with it. And crucially, and something that I'm really pleased with, is I already had all the fabric. I haven't had to buy any fabric, which is really good. I am potentially allowing myself to buy the backing fabric, mainly because I don't really want to join in the backing fabric. I would prefer it to be joined, to have no join. And to do that, I need extra wide fabric, which I don't have at the minute. Now, whether I get that in for the purposes of putting it in a box at some point, I don't know. But that possibly will be allowed. But we will cross that bridge nearer the time, because we are significant. We have got significantly longer to go on making it before I need to worry about the backing. So that is where I'm up to. Sewing lessons have been fabulous this week. We have been working on Christmas stuff. Now, I know I've been doing Christmas stuff for a while. Not me specifically, but my sewing ladies have been working on some Christmas stuff. Christmas table runners. Now, the Christmas table runner is part of my Sew Like a Pro workshop program, which is basically this, in whatever fabric that you want. So Nikki and Charlotte are both making them at the minute. It's not my pattern. It's a free pattern off of Pinterest, I think. And it's really quite nice. And it's amazing to see how different they look based on the fabrics that people have used. So they're both making those. And on the same evening, so that was Thursday morning, Thursday night, Wendy's actually making a felt fairy-like garland. Oh, that is going to look amazing. I will try and get you some pictures as it progresses. At the minute, we're just cutting out the shapes of the multicoloured bulbs, and they're getting sewn together, stuffed, and then put on like a string. So that's going to look amazing. So that's definitely one to watch out for. And then we've also got, as part of the Sew Like a Pro program, Tuesday. Nobody was here on Tuesday. Met Joyce on Wednesday. Joyce is back from Spain. So if Joyce is watching, hi! I'm so glad you're back, Joyce. and I was at Joyce's on Wednesday, and we were getting back in sort of where we left off. So that was really good, and she looks fabulous, and she was on very good form. So that was Wednesday. Thursday I've already mentioned. So we actually only had sewing lessons Thursday this week. So we had Nikki and Charlotte making the table runner in the morning, afternoon tea in the afternoon, and then we had Christine is working on, it's actually a free pattern from Tilda, which is like a little makeup bag pouch thing. So she was working on that because that's the second last thing in the Sew Like a Pro program. So this is the final thing that we make, which is the graduation bag. But the one before that is normally a pencil case, because it's just to get you familiar with zips before we move on to the 5 zips that are on the graduation bag. So we went with this free Tilda pattern, which is to make a makeup bag. So it's a bit of quilting. So that was really nice. So I'll put a link to both of those things that I've mentioned in the comments, or in the description, because I think they would be quite good for you to check out. So yeah, that happened. And then Fran had just finished the drawstring bag in this really cute Lewis and Irene fabric. It's got tiny little thistles and bees. So that was really cute. She finished that and started prepping for sewing machine cover. And then I forgot to mention Lynn and Alwyn, who were here on Thursday morning, because normally I've just got Charlotte and Nikki. So I'm all over the place this week. But Lynn was making one of the boxes. Now she was actually making, I can show you this now, hang on. Well, probably I can't show you this now. So I'm going to break my own rule. But I made it, so I can break it. So this is last month's box project, which is this little basket. I can't remember what I called it. Anyway, so it's all quilted, and then you bind the top and the bottom, and then we just use the extra binding to make little handles, which you can put on or you don't need to put on. So anyway, Lynn was working on this. Elaine, who is watching, has already made hers, so that's fabulous. That's a couple of them that have been made now. So Lynn was making that, and Alwyn's on the graduation bag. So it's all going on. This weekend, so what day are we on? Friday. Tea with Fee, of course it's Friday. Honestly, that's how the week's gone. Tea with Fee, take out tonight. What's everybody else doing for dinner? We're going Indian tonight, just for a little cheeky change. What else have I been doing? I thought there was something else. I thought I must tell everybody that. That is a really good tip. It's gone. Oh, but I do have some really nice, as I say, I showed you my fabric before. I'm going to have a bit of a clear out, so keep an eye out for some bargains on the fabrics as I try and give you some offers that you can't refuse to shift some of my fabulous fabrics to make room for some new ones. So there might be a bargain coming to a post box near you. Can't remember what I was going to tell you. Anyway, so it's the weekend. Let's hope that the weather's a wee bit nicer. What's your plans for the weekend? What's everybody doing? Anything? Anybody got anything exciting planned? I would recommend some fabric shopping or some wool shopping. To make everybody aware, I was at Ramsey Craft Centre this morning. They are closed. Today is their last day. They've going to Mallorca for their holidays, which will be lovely. However, I do think if you check out the Facebook page, because I think Holly said that they would be open 2 days, 1 day a week for the next 2 weeks. A friend was going in to do it for them. So just check that out, because you can possibly still get your fabric / fix in there. So check that out before you go to Ramsey, day trip to Ramsey. So yeah, I would definitely recommend go and buy yourself some fabric or some thread, or even just like a pattern, or get a little bit of scrolling on what your next project's going to be. Ooh, Elaine is bowling and an Indian tonight in Port Erin. Very nice, Elaine. Well, we are going to Curries and Steaks. Well, we're going to collect it from Curries and Steaks. We're not sitting in. So I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully it's some film tonight of some sort, or Netflix box set. If anybody's got any recommendations, let me know. So yeah, so that's it really. So nothing major going on apart from afternoon teas on tomorrow, 10 to 12, Union Mills Methodist Church, and I'm doing this because it's literally there. So Union Mills Methodist Church, 10 to 12 tomorrow. I will see you there. Ooh, Ashley's got some Manx Wheel. Now, I think Laxey, Shop and Laxey sell it, and I think you can buy it in the Manx Museum as well. So yeah, Ashley, definitely message me so we can work out when we can catch up, or come to afternoon tea if you're over on a Thursday or a Friday or a Saturday, which would be fantastic. So anyway, I will love you and leave you for now. I can't believe I've been talking to you for 26 minutes. I'm going to sign off and go and check if this dress is going to fit. What are the chances? What do we think? I'm not hopeful, but I'll keep you posted. Anyway, it's been lovely chatting to you. Thank you for taking time out of your day to actually chat with me today. I really appreciate it. Like and follow my page and my YouTube channel, and share it with anybody else that you think might be interested. And don't forget to check out Afternoon Tea's page as well for anybody that's local, to make sure that you stay in the loop of when we're on and when we're not. And on that note, I will say see you later, and thanks very much for watching. Have a great weekend. Bye.